Oh yeah, we were a healthy weight, but we were running low on food, so we went fishing a whole bunch, and then, you eat all that fish and it just goes right to those hips. Alright, so I do think we are going to deal with all this stuff. I've already got planks. You're not ready for harvesting. I do need to get rid of all these bushes and trees. Yep, we got our little fishing spot. You can see I've got spears laying here, ready to rock and roll. Got ourselves a nice little thing going on here. Okay, so I don't need to be carrying around 6 cabbages. That's more than I need, so probably like 3. Alright, so I think we are going to focus on carpentry a little bit. That way we can get a roof on this place, get some rain barrels up before winter. Because this is our main base that we will be returning to. So for carpentry, I am just going to roll over to a neighboring building and start taking apart all of their things. But first, this zombie dies. I just realized we went through this entire town. We did not find a tire iron. We did not find a jack. I think we have a wrench. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have a wrench. So we've actually had low luck when it comes to dealing with that. Not really. Honestly, I do need to spend time at some point using traps in this game. Like, I have never meaningfully done trap stuff. I've done it once or twice and caught a couple of things, but never on any appreciable level. Which is just something I probably should do at some point. Alright, make sure we're all clear in here and there's no zombies lurking around in here. Speaking of mouse traps. Okay. Oh, actually, give me a moment. I should have brought the propane torch as well. So you're probably going, why are you collecting rotten food? We have a compost bin. That's basically the why. I'll just eat my bag of sugar here, don't mind me. Yeah, no, it's probably like I know there's people who do their entire thing off of like trapping, so for long-term survival. So it's like it's absolutely viable. And I just assume it'll be like every other skill in this game where it's absolutely crap at low levels, but then it gets pretty good later. But I just never bothered putting the commitment into trapping because usually I usually want to be near water of some kind just for the water supply. And just haven't had to worry about trapping at any point. Where are you going? Why are you taking this apart from Hey Poity, how's it going? I'm not entirely sure what we just did there. Our character like walked around, was like, I'm just gonna kinda like wave their hand at the wall. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, it makes no, like, it makes absolute sense. Normally, like in the past, I used to have characters that would mostly get high foraging. It's just I've been doing these runs so much lately that I'm not taking the time to do a lot of the trade and such. Or a lot of those other skills. It's just, do we have something I can eat? Good enough. Alright, farming is at level 1.5, so that'll need the next book when I harvest something else. I'm disassembling these. They give okay carpentry experience because they do take 2 tiles. So it's not as good as a picnic bench or a pew, but still pretty solid. It'll give us a bunch more nails, which we're not really hurting on, but still. Okay, before I forget, I am going to hop on Discord here in a moment because I am planning on playing multiplayer with Moon and Nier and everyone. But so I'm going to hop on that Discord, and I don't know when they're going to join, but we are planning on playing at some point tonight. Yep. Oh yeah, you can find all sorts of amazing things with the new foraging. Like I found hand axes, I found nails, I found all sorts of things like onions and or not onion, yeah, onions. You know, leeks, jars of leeks. You do end up having to get a little ways up in the skill to get anything meaningful at a reliable level, but you do find stuff quite frequently, and a lot of it's good. Oh yeah, and here's something a lot of people don't realize, and I didn't realize for the longest time. Because there's a window tile here, I can walk through this. The windows will make a lot of things that normally would block your ability to move around able to walk through them. I've definitely had a character die because I did a window next to some water, and you know there was an extra tile that should have been unwalkable, but I didn't realize the window made the tile walkable, so I conveniently made a bridge for zombies to just flank into my home and kill me while I was sitting down. Yep. Yeah, foraging is absolutely amazing. Yep. The one thing I will recommend is to focus on doing foraging on days that, like, the weather is nice, because tons of things penalize foraging. Like, wearing a helmet penalizes your foraging. Wearing sunglasses penalizes your foraging. Being nearsighted penalizes your foraging. If it's foggy, it penalizes your foraging. If it's raining, it penalizes your foraging. If it's dark, it penalizes your foraging. You get where this is going. You basically want, like, the ideal conditions for, like, skulking about, finding junk on the ground. You know, and then take off your glasses and your helmet. Right. Yes, sorry, I should have specified that. Like, it's how far away you can see stuff while foraging, which just makes life way easier. Yep. So, like, if you have a huge radius, then you can just easily find stuff by just, like, walking to a field and just find it. Yep. The pity timer's helping. Stairs and rain barrels, yes. And we're pretty close to level 6. So basically I'm tearing apart all the stuff in here. Then I'm going to load up in the truck. But I want to be able to get water without having to boil it because the boiling water gets tedious after a while. But I'd also like to put a roof on my building because I believe I've got it set up right so it'll count it as interior. And if that is the case, then I can just have my rain barrels on the roof of the house I'm staying in and not have to utilize the nearby bathroom. Because having to utilize the bathroom is kind of crap. But yeah, this isn't a character I'm going to grind out all these skills because I don't have a reason to grind out most of them, honestly. But carpentry is a very useful skill for us to have. Oh, sure. So let me just scoot that over so it's not behind our to-do list. But yeah, so most of our weapon skills are sitting at about 4, with axe lagging just a little bit behind, and spear being behind because they really don't make many spears. Even though spears are super powerful. Maintenance is at 5, so that's going real well. Yeah, carpentry has obvious survival uses, cooking because it goes up. Yep, Whistlebeak. Yeah, that's the reason why cooking is happening, because I'm always making these salads, and while they only add like the tiniest bit of cooking skill every time, it basically means every single thing I'm eating is giving me the tiniest bit of cooking as I go along. So these 3 will definitely all be maxed out by the time we're done. Tailoring will probably be maxed out by the time we're done. A lot of our weapon skills will be maxed or near max by the time we're done. Fitness and strength will be pretty high, if not maxed, by the time we're done. Nimble, I don't actually expect to get anywhere near max, not unless I dedicated grind it, because the better you get at fighting, the less you nimble during a fight, and you get the idea. Gotcha. Yeah, no, we've actually had good luck. I have 3 machetes and a katana we found so far, because I've been keeping all the long blades that we find just to kind of see what type of count we'd get in the end. I'm gonna back this truck right up to the door. Now, granted, one of those machetes we found basically was, you know, 1 tick above broken when we found it, so it was quite the tease. Yep. Fenrir is just mentioning that Longblade does level fairly quickly, just because the amount you gain so far as, like, XP for your combat skills is based on the damage done for everything but maintenance. So Longblades do good damage, very reliably, so you're going to get a lot of XP faster. And I'm not going to try and get all the planks out of here. I'm basically just filling up the truck before we leave, because we've done the work to take these apart. Why not at least collect the planks? It's better than us having to chop down trees and then drag all the wood back home. And we're pretty close to leveling our carpentry here. We will take the moment to collect all the nails, though. Because our planks are a renewable resource, because you can just keep cutting down trees. Nails, you know, you have to forge to get more nails as the only way to continue to get more. Yeah. Like, I don't have a problem making the spears, I just never really do. No real reason. Alright, so we've hit the number of planks that we can carry and all that, so let's just go over here. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do it this way. I was like, why does this seem wrong? Because it was. Alright. I'm gonna add the scrap wood to our fire heap here. Maybe what we'll start doing is putting down the wood to, like, outline some of the farm stuff. Are those near harvesting? No. I see you, zombie. Give me a moment. Anyone else skulking around? I don't like it when people skulk around. Yeah, so I'm gonna start just putting wood floor to start keeping all this crap from growing in between the farm plots, because it's getting hard to see how things are going and all that. Grab all the rotten junk. Put all the rotten junk in our composter. I'm curious if the eggs being in a carton rotten still works. And thank you for everyone who's been tuning in, who's been lurking, chatting, following, subscribing, doing the bits, the donos, the hosts, the raids, and all that good stuff. It all helps, and I really do appreciate it. I do hope you are enjoying the stream. Oh yeah, that's actually one of the things that's really a big negative of the build I do, is you really don't get +1 in anything, so it takes forever to level everything. Alright, so it's still going to take a little while. You know, I am going to make this square off. Like, it's just kind of wasting wood at the moment, but that's fine. We're leveling carpentry. That's what we're here for. And I'll probably get rid of this one when it comes up. So we can have like nice little porch thing here. Continue out this way, whatever. All right. Doctor told you to take a rest of the week off. Now I'm waiting. Now I'm writing the all too stressful email to my manager saying I'm doing just that. Okay. Yeah, and I got you. Sorry, I misread that. Yeah, it can be difficult, but it is one of those things that, like, when you have a doctor's note saying, hey, like, the doctor says, you know, like, I shouldn't be in, you've got to do it. And I know there's a lot of companies that won't respect that, and they'll be like, nah, it's fine, come in, you know, whatever, you're sick. Like, I personally wish we had very strict rules around that kind of stuff. Especially, like, when you're talking, like, frontline or anything like that kind of employees. You don't want those people being sick. You don't want the person serving you food to be sick. Like, that's not in your best interest. But that's the way so many of those companies operate. It's like, oh, you've got this? Well, come on in. Don't say anything to anyone. And sure, if a health inspector happened to come by at that given time, they'd get in trouble for it, but it's pretty rare that happens. Granted, I have seen companies get hit because, like, the health inspector shows up and the person's sniffling behind the counter and they're like, are you okay? It's like, oh yeah, not feeling well or whatever. And they're like, and why are you here? Boss said I couldn't take the day off. It's like, nope. Oh yeah. Well, that's good. I do find software engineering is usually pretty merciful for that. I understand, depending on what industry within software engineering you're working for, sometimes the cultures can be less amenable to people taking time off. But yeah. Yep, and that's one of the reasons why every time I've had those type of interactions with jobs, I go, okay, but I need it in writing. Like, oh, you want me to come in when I'm sick? Well, I need that in writing. Like, I don't think I should, but I need it in writing. And then suddenly, people won't ask you to do that. And they'll usually say you're being difficult or whatever, but that's fine. Alright, Longclaw. You go ahead and have yourself a good lurk, and hope you have a good workday. But yeah. I found a lot in the past when I was asked to do something that was either potentially something that would get a company in trouble or myself in trouble or whatever. The moment you're saying, all right, sure, I'm more than happy to do what you're asking, but I need you to, like, I need you to send me an email, or I need you to, like, write that up. You know, like, formally request that. Then suddenly they start backing down for some reason. They get pissy about it, but that's not my problem. And when they refuse, it's just like, well, I guess it wasn't that important of a thing if you're not willing to at least write it down. Why don't you want to write it down? Is it because you know you're asking me to do something you're not supposed to? For me, the place I ended up doing that a lot was overtime related stuff. Because a lot of what they were asking would technically get them in trouble for labor law violations. You know, working long hours, no overtime in a job that wasn't necessarily going to be exempt or anything. And then not paying appropriately. Yep. Exactly. You're like, all right. Write it down. Oh, you don't want to put your name on it because you know it's going to get you in trouble or the company in trouble. Okay, well then I guess it's not that important. We won't do it. Not that it solves the problem. Toxic culture is going to toxic. But I found there's a lot of arguments you can shut it down by effectively asking them to create evidence. The moment you're basically creating a paper trail that come back to haunt them. Yeah, unfortunately the number of companies out there who really do care about their staff, like really, really care about their staff, are far and few in between. And it's not necessarily a software engineer problem, like that so much. It's just work in general in a lot of industries is that way. Just unfortunately, that the moment it strategically makes sense for a company to cut you loose, you're gone. If the company believes they can get away with cutting your benefits, they will. If they can get away with not giving raises, they're not going to do it. And so it's kind of one of those things that you go, all right, well, how much loyalty do I want to show a company if they're just going to do these things? And the answer is as much as they show you. Now, I want to be clear, though, there are companies that do actually take care of their people. It's just, unfortunately, they are rare. And generally speaking, when a company goes, oh, we're family, run. Run. Just, no, get out. People who want to invoke emotional feelings are not your friend in a company. Like, terms like crew member, cast member, employee, sure, all that's fine. But when they start sitting there going for the family and all that kind of stuff, it's like, no, don't. We're not family, we're coworkers. You might be my friend outside of work and everything, like, that's fine. But, company, we have a professional relationship. I am your employee. You ask me to do something. I do it. In return, you pay me. That's the arrangement. That is the extent of our entire arrangement. Yeah, we're family. We're going to leave you understaffed, undermanned. We're going to ask you to do more, and we're going to deny those raises because the economy is hard. Now, our company has been making record profits, but, you know, the economy's hard. And for those record, none of those complaints reflect my current employer that I'm leaving. Like, I don't have those complaints with my current employer. That's from my time doing like doing retail and working at really kind of crappy software dev places where it was, you know, we're looking for rock stars and all stars and whatever. I'm like, no. If I hear a group saying I want to hire a rock star, my answer is I'm out. I want you to hire a properly supported dev team. That's what I want. I want a company that respects that 5 p.m. I'm not here anymore. I'm doing home thing. A Rockstar dev job? Right, yeah. Usually Rockstar in the software industry has jokingly been, we want you to work way more than is reasonably asked. We want you to basically live, breathe the thing, and we expect you to just know how to do all the things. None of which is realistic for software dev. I'm working in the same tech for 15 years, with a bunch of other techs in there mixed in, but the same tech for 15 years. I'm still learning things. The people who made the technology are still learning things. Like, that's just the way it is. The only way you learn everything about something is if it's gone stale and no one's changed it in a huge amount of time. Ready to harvest. I want seeding. Okay, so I want those to go a little longer so that they're seeding. Because I don't think I have a whole bunch of carrot seeds laying around. Alright, but that gives us 6 carpentry. So first of all, I need, that's the expert carpentry book, I believe. Which I don't think I have handy. Yeah, I don't have it handy, so what we're going to do is... Our character is getting really close to tired, but I'm feeling confident enough in how much we cleared up to say that we're just going to run to the bookstore and just chuck a bunch of books in the truck. Yep. No, and I'm the same way. And, like, that's actually... So, people have figured out, because I've said it, you know, my stream starts at 5 p.m. EST. I've basically been strict about that. That's like 5 p.m. EST is when my workday is over. And so when people at my company are like, all right, we schedule a meeting at 7, it's like, great. I'm not going to be there, but, you know, let me know how it goes. That's not what you want to see when you're about to be sleepy. That's fine, it's 5 zombies. We'll kill them real fast, we'll deal with the bookstore. I just don't want them skulking in behind me. Like, don't get me wrong, if I know the people who are going to be in the meeting are, like, opposite side of the globe or something where they're, you know, waking up super early and the closest we can meet is, like, you know, I stay up a little bit late or stay working a little bit late so that they can wake up super early and meet me, I'll work with them, because I know they're putting it out in their schedule as well. But when it's one of those things that you're like, your time zone is only an hour or two difference, I'm like, alright, well, you need to have your meeting just a little bit early, because that's in both of our work days. And if you can't make that time, then how important is this meeting? Because honestly, half the meetings that don't seem to respect time, it's because it's a lower priority meeting. And so they're like, oh, we're just gonna put it way later. Gotcha. I do very much appreciate the work from home. Like, I got to go remote well before the pandemic started. So, it's just been fantastic going, you know what? Today is just not a day that I'm in a headspace that I'm going to get much done. That's fine. I can pick up the time later to get what I should have gotten done later. And people are very chill about it. At the end of the day, did I deliver the thing you wanted? Yes, no. If the answer is yes, get off my back. It's just, especially in micromanaging groups, they want to get, like, maximum productivity out of it. And it's like, but that, me being here more hours doesn't make me more productive. That is a far refuted thing. That is tons of studies behind it show that, oh, I thought it was going to die. There's tons of studies that show that, you know, you actually get more productivity out of staff who work about 5 or 6 hours a day than you do out of 8 or more. Like with software dev, it's easy to point out because you get to those later hours when you're starting to get all frazzled, you make more mistakes, you create more bugs. And when you do that, then it's more cleanup, and that's just, you put in the extra hours to have to put in more hours to undo what you put in. Versus calling it a night and then picking it up again tomorrow. Interrupted making our salad. First, I want to make sure we're clear in here. Expert carpentry, and let's see if master carpentry is anywhere here. Cool. And I haven't been like fully looting the bookstore or anything. I've just been grabbing it as we need. Gotcha. I've done that dialogue before. I've also done the reverse of, you know, why aren't you here before me kind of thing. It's like, well, because I'm here after you leave. But I've always been, like, very outspoken. That's like, the hours I put in are irrelevant. It's what I get done in those hours that matter. Yep. I had a boss try to refuse my resignation one time, and I kind of looked at him and it's like, what do you think's going to happen? Like, I'm quitting, you know. Come 3-4 weeks from now, I no longer work here. You can say you refuse it, but I'm not showing up, so on my end it changes nothing. Oh yeah, absolutely, Rockbeard. Yep. Now goes it. I also regret to inform you, Rockbeard, in RimWorld, you may have died. I'm trying to remember specifically how you died, though. That I'm blanking on. Because we had a whole bunch of raids at the same time. And I think we only had 2 casualties, and unfortunately you were one of them. I was pretty bummed because you were getting a lot of done. Oh, that's right. Was it Rockbeard who got really... That may have been the one... The one that was kidnapped, that you got really badly injured, the person grabbed you and ran, and you bled out while they were running away. Like, as well as once they got off screen and I'm like, that character's dead, like, I don't care what it says, and then you look at all the characters that says, a friend of mine has died, and you're like, oh, right, yep, they died. Okay. So, we're not ready for the master book, so we're going to put that away. Gotcha. Yep, nah, it's, yeah, Cobalt is super specialized, but yeah. Well, I wish you best of luck in that cert. You know, it's always good to be able to try and use some type of onboard training to help you out. That's one of the reasons when it's come to jobs I've looked at recently, I've been very particular about a lot of things. It's like, I'll ask, when was the last time someone in your team got promoted in the company? Or, you know, what have you done to foster employee growth, even if you know that employee growth would potentially leave the person to going to a different company? You know, asking those kind of questions just basically feel out the culture. Because I've definitely worked at the kinds of companies that will deliberately do everything they can to prevent you from, you know, being able to pursue other opportunities. that they kind of want to trap you in the role you're in.